The police knocked on the penthouse door at exactly 6:47 a.m., and Chidinma knew, even before she opened it, even before she saw their stern faces and the warrant in their hands, that their brief moment of peace was over. Ji-hoon stood frozen in the living room, still holding his coffee cup, the television behind him broadcasting his face with the word suspect blazing underneath. The children were still asleep. Her mother hadn't emerged from her room yet. And in that split second before everything shattered, Chidinma made a decision that would define everything that came next. She would not let them take him without a fight. Welcome back, beautiful souls. If you're just joining us, Chidinma and Jihoon have survived 3 years of separation, manipulation by a vengeful enemy, and doubt that nearly destroyed them, only to face their biggest threat yet. Someone is framing Ji-hoon for murder, and everything they've built is hanging by a thread. But before we dive in, drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. Seriously, seeing viewers from New York to London to Cape Town reminds me why I do this. And if you've been following this journey from part 1, hit that subscribe button because you've come too far to miss how this ends. Your support means everything, so let's get into it. Kang Ji-hoon, we need you to come with us for questioning regarding the death of Kang Seung Ho, the lead detective said, holding up the warrant. Detective Park Min-ji stood behind him, her expression apologetic but professional. New evidence has come to light that contradicts our initial ruling of suicide. What evidence? Chidinma demanded, stepping between the police and Ji-hoon. You told us 2 days ago that Seung Ho's own journals proved it was suicide, that he'd planned everything. What changed? Miss Adebayo, please step aside, the lead detective said, not unkindly. We have text messages allegedly sent from Mr. Kang's phone the night of Seung Ho's death, financial records showing payments to individuals with criminal backgrounds, and witness testimony placing him at the scene. Ji-hoon finally moved, setting down his coffee cup with deliberate calm. Those texts aren't for me. I was here that night. Chidinma can confirm it. And I've never made payments to criminals. Then you'll have an opportunity to explain that at the station, the detective said. Are you coming voluntarily, or do we need to use the warrant? I'll go, Ji-hoon said quietly, already reaching for his jacket. But Chidinma grabbed his arm. No, not without a lawyer, not without understanding what's really happening here. She turned to Detective Park. You know this is wrong. You read Seung Ho's confession yourself. Someone is setting him up. Detective Park's expression flickered with something that might have been agreement, but she said nothing. The lead detective's patience was wearing thin. Mr. Kang, now. It's okay, Ji-hoon said to Chidinma, his hand covering hers. I have nothing to hide. I'll go, answer their questions, and be back before the children wake up. Call Attorney Kim. He'll meet me there. But Chidinma's instincts were screaming. This wasn't okay. This was exactly what someone wanted. Ji-hoon separated from his family, vulnerable, trapped in an interrogation room while whoever was behind this tightened the noose. No, she said again, louder this time. You're not going anywhere until we know who is doing this and why. Chidinma, listen to me. Her voice cracked with urgency. Seung Ho said it himself in that letter. He tried to frame you even in death. What if this is part of that plan? What if someone else is finishing what he started? If you go with them now, without protection, without understanding what we're up against, She couldn't finish the sentence, couldn't voice the terror that Ji-hoon might not come back. If you're feeling Chidinma's panic right now, hit that like button because this is where everything gets intense, and I promise you, the twist coming is one you won't see coming, so stay with me. Ji-hoon's expression softened as he looked at her, really looked at her. You trust me? With everything, Chidinma said immediately. Then trust me now, he said. I won't let them separate us again. Not permanently. But we need to handle this the right way. Legally, carefully. Running or resisting will only make me look guilty. He turned to the detective. I'm ready. but I want my lawyer present before any questioning begins." "That's your right," the detective agreed. Chidinma watched, helpless, as they led Ji-hoon away. The moment the door closed behind them, she was on her phone calling attorney Kim, then Ji-hoon's business partner, then anyone who might have answers about what evidence could have possibly surfaced. Her mother emerged from the bedroom, took one look at Chidinma's face, and knew. "They took him," Adane said, not a question. "Someone's framing him, Mama. Someone who knows how to make it look real." Chidinma's mind was racing. The text messages, the financial records, the witness. Those aren't random accusations. Someone planned this. Someone with access to Ji-hoon's phone, his accounts. Someone close enough to know details about his life. "Then we find out who," Adani said firmly. "But first, we protect those children. They don't need to wake up and see their mother falling apart. You hold yourself together, my child, and then we fight." Chidinma nodded, wiping her eyes. Her mother was right. Breaking down wouldn't help Ji-hoon. She needed to think, to investigate, to be the partner he'd promised she could be. Equal partners, that meant she didn't just wait for him to fix this. She helped solve it. At Seoul Metropolitan Police Station, Ji-hoon sat in an interrogation room with attorney Kim beside him. The lead detective spread photographs across the table, screenshots of text messages that looked like they came from Ji-hoon's phone number. "Can you explain these messages sent to a known enforcer the night Seung Ho died, discussing taking care of a problem and making it look natural?" Ji-hoon studied the screenshots. The number was his, the messaging app looked like his, but he'd never sent these messages, never even heard of the person they'd allegedly been sent to. "These are fabricated. Someone cloned my phone or hacked my accounts." "That's convenient," the detective said dryly. "And the financial records? Payments totaling 50 million won to various individuals, all with criminal records, all made in the weeks leading up to Seung Ho's death?" "I've never authorized those payments. Check with my accountant, my bank. I'll provide full access to my actual records." "We will," the detective promised. "But right now, we also have a witness, someone who claims they saw you entering Seung Ho's apartment building the night he died." That made Ji-hoon pause. "That's impossible. I was home with Chidinma and the children all night. We can prove it. Building security footage, credit card records, anything you need." "We'll check those too," the detective said. "But here's what doesn't add up, Mr. Kang. Your rival dies suspiciously. Evidence points to you. And conveniently, he left a confession exonerating you, almost like he knew someone would try to frame you and wanted to protect you from beyond the grave. Or," the detective leaned forward, "the confession itself is fabricated and you knew investigators would find it and clear you, giving you the perfect alibi." Attorney Kim interjected. "That's wildly speculative. My client has cooperated fully, offered evidence of his innocence, and has no motive to harm Seung Ho. They'd actually reconciled before his death. Unless you're charging him, we're done here." The detective sat back. "We're not charging him yet, but don't leave Seoul, Mr. Kang. This investigation is ongoing." Meanwhile, Chidinma had made a discovery. She'd gone through Ji-hoon's recent calls and found something odd. Several calls to and from his business partner's assistant, a woman named Yoon Sora, at strange hours. When Chidinma called Sora directly, the woman's voice had been nervous, evasive. "I need to see you," Chidinma said firmly. "Today. It's about Ji Hune." They met at a cafe near Olympic Park, the same place where Ji Hune had confronted Seung Ho weeks earlier. Sara arrived looking tired, scared, like someone carrying a heavy secret. She was young, late 20s, pretty in an understated way, with short hair and anxious eyes. "What do you know about the evidence against Ji Hune?" Chidinma asked without preamble. Her hands trembled around her coffee cup. "I didn't want any of this to happen. You have to believe me." Comment below and share this video after watching if you're already suspecting Sora, because trust me, this is more complicated than it looks. What did you do? Chidinma's voice was ice. I nothing directly, Sora said quickly, but someone approached me about a month ago, a woman. She said she was Seung Ho's ex-wife, Hwang Mi-soon. She told me about everything Seung Ho had done to you and Ji-hoon, the manipulation, the fake paternity claim, all of it. She said she wanted justice for her daughter, that Seung Ho had lost his mind because of Ji-hoon's actions, even if indirectly. She offered me money to provide access to Ji-hoon's accounts. Chidinma felt cold fury spreading through her chest. You gave her access to his phone? His financial records? Just his calendar and email at first, Sora said quickly. I thought she just wanted to understand what had happened to her ex-husband. I didn't know she was planning to frame him, but then she kept asking for more. Copies of his passwords, his phone's backup codes, and when I tried to stop, she threatened to expose some things about my past, things that would ruin my career. I was trapped. Where is she now? Chidinma demanded. I don't know. She stopped contacting me after Seung Ho died, but I think... Sora hesitated. I think she's working with someone else. Someone inside the police department maybe, or someone with access to create official-looking evidence? Because the financial records, the ones supposedly proving Ji-hoon made illegal payments to, I know those are fake. I process all his business expenses. Those transactions never happened. Chidinma's mind raced. Seung Ho's ex-wife made sense as a suspect, grief-driven, seeking someone to blame for her daughter losing a father, even while the man was still alive. But fabricating police evidence required more than just a grieving ex-wife. That required connections, expertise, maybe even official cooperation. Who else knew about your arrangement with Mi-soon? No one, I thought. But Sora pulled out her phone, scrolling through old messages. Look at this. A week before Seung Ho died, Mi-soon mentioned someone helping her get justice. She didn't give a name, just said, my partner thinks we should move quickly before Ji-hoon and that woman reconcile completely. She was talking about you. Chidinma took the phone, reading the message thread. Mi-soon's texts were bitter, angry, obsessed with making Ji-hoon pay. But the references to my partner were vague. No names, no identifying details. Whoever was helping Mi-soon was careful, invisible. Back at the police station, Ji-hoon was finally released after 6 hours of questioning. Attorney Kim had provided building security footage proving Ji-hoon never left the penthouse the night of Seung Ho's death. And Ji-hoon's bank immediately flagged the suspicious transactions as fraudulent, initiated from an unknown IP address. The case against him was circumstantial, at best, fabricated at worst, and the police had no choice but to let him go pending further investigation. When Chidinma picked him up, she told him everything Sora had revealed. Ji-hoon's expression darkened as he listened. Mi-soon, he said quietly. I should have anticipated this. Seung Ho mentioned her once, said their separation destroyed them both, that he'd become someone she didn't recognize. If she blames me for his death, she does, Chidinma confirmed. And she has help. Someone with power, resources, maybe even inside the police. Someone who can create evidence that looks official. Detective Park. She was at the apartment when they arrested me, but she didn't say a word, just stood there, looking guilty. What if... No, Chidinma said immediately. I saw her face. She knows this is wrong. If she were part of it, she wouldn't look conflicted. She thought hard. But someone she works with? Someone who could access case files, plant evidence in the system? They spent the rest of the day digging through Ji-hoon's business contacts, looking for anyone with connections to both Seung Ho's family and law enforcement. The answer came from an unexpected source, Adane. I've been thinking, Chidinma's mother said that evening as they all sat around the dining table. You said Mi-sung needed someone with authority to make this work, someone who could create official evidence. Who handled the original investigation into Seung Ho's death? Detective Park's team, Ji Hune said. Why? And who would have access to all the evidence, all the reports, all the details that someone could manipulate? Adane pressed. The realization hit them simultaneously. The lead detective, Chidinma breathed. The one who arrested you this morning. If you're having that oh my god moment right now, smash that like button and subscribe because we're getting to the truth and it's bigger than you think. They investigated quickly, quietly. Attorney Kim used his connections to look into the lead detective's background. What they found was damning and almost unbelievable. Detective Cho had been Seung Ho's college roommate years ago. They'd lost touch, but Cho had apparently reached out to Seung Ho's family after his death, offering condolences. And Mi-sung must have reached back, or maybe might have been in contact with him before Seung Ho's death. But for what? The same woman who broke up with Seung Ho suddenly becomes the hunter for his quote-unquote killer. It's personal for him too, Attorney Kim explained. Cho believed Ji Hune destroyed his friend's life, even if indirectly. When Mi-sung must have approached him wanting revenge, he saw it as justice. He used his position to fabricate evidence, plant false witness testimony, create a case that looked legitimate on the surface. This is the most logical explanation here. Can we prove it? Ji Hune asked. Sara's testimony helps, Attorney Kim said. She can confirm Mi-sung's involvement, show the message threads, and I've subpoenaed Cho's personal phone records. If he's been communicating with Mi-sung off the books, we'll find it. But we need Mi-sung, herself. We need her confession. Then we get it, Chidinma said with a determination that surprised even herself. Finding Mi-sung wasn't difficult. She was living in Seung Ho's old apartment, raising her daughter surrounded by memories of the man who died hating himself. When Chidinma and Jihoon showed up unannounced, she opened the door with resignation, as if she'd been expecting them. You're here to threaten me, Mi-sung said flatly. She was beautiful in a worn way, with sad eyes and tired features that spoke of years spent watching someone she loved self-destruct. No, Chidinma said, surprising everyone, including herself. The woman standing before them has just confessed to a serious crime about to destroy their lives, and yet she hasn't landed a few blows on her face. The woman literally confessed without being forced. We're here because I understand. Mi-sung's expression flickered. You understand? I understand what it's like to lose someone you love to their own demons. I understand wanting someone to blame when grief feels unbearable. I understand rage that has nowhere to go except toward whoever's left standing. She stepped closer. But Mi-sung, Seung Ho wrote you a letter. Did you read it? I read it, Mi-sung broke her voice. He said he was sorry, that his hatred destroyed him, that I should let it go. And yet here we are, Ji-hoon said quietly, with you doing exactly what he begged you not to do, letting hatred poison your life and hurt your daughter's future. Mi-sung, I did terrible things to Seung Ho years ago. I own that. I tried to make amends before he died, but it wasn't enough. Nothing I do will bring him back. And destroying me won't heal your daughter's grief. You don't get to tell me what will heal her. Mi-sung's composure cracked. You have everything. Your family, your success, your happiness. Seung Ho died alone and broken because of choices you forced him to make. No, Chidinma said firmly. Seung Ho died because he couldn't let go of hatred, just like you're choosing not to let go right now. And in doing that, you're teaching your daughter that vengeance matters more than truth, that destroying someone else's family is acceptable if you're hurting enough. Is that really what Seung Ho would want for her? The question hung in the air. Misun's face crumpled as she sank into a chair, years of grief finally overwhelming her. "I just wanted someone to pay," she whispered. "I wanted someone to hurt like we hurt." "And now we are hurting," Chidinma said, sitting across from her. "My children ask why police took their father away. My family lives in fear of what comes next. But it doesn't make you feel better, does it? It just creates more pain." Misun sobbed openly now, broken and human. "I don't know how to stop hating him," she said, looking at Ji-hoon. "I don't know how to tell my daughter that sometimes there's no one to blame, that life is just unfair and painful and senseless." "You start by telling the truth," Ji-hoon said. "You tell the police that Detective Cho fabricated evidence. You admit your role in trying to frame me. And then you let us help you, help your daughter. The trust we set up for Seung Ho's child, it's still there. Education, therapy, whatever she needs. Your daughter doesn't have to pay for any of this." "Why would you do that?" Misun asked, genuine confusion in her voice. "After what I've done?" "Because someone taught me," Ji-hoon said, looking at Chidinma, "that breaking the cycle of revenge is the only way anyone heals, because your daughter is innocent, and because maybe, just maybe, if we show compassion when we don't have to, we honor what Seung Ho was trying to become at the end, someone better than his worst choices." The next day, Misun walked into Seoul Metropolitan Police with her lawyer and confessed everything. Detective Cho was immediately suspended pending internal investigation. The charges against Ji-hoon were dropped, the evidence officially declared fabricated, and the case closed for good. But the real resolution came a week later, in the same cafe where everything had started to unravel. Misun brought her daughter, a beautiful 5-year-old with her father's serious eyes, to meet Chidinma and Jihoon's family. The children played awkwardly at first, unsure of each other, but Amaka, ever the diplomat, shared her crayons, and soon they were drawing together. "I'm going to therapy," Misun told them quietly. "Real therapy, not just pretending. And I'm teaching Suha about her father, the good parts and the bad parts, the whole truth." "That's all anyone can do," Chidinma said. "Learn, grow, choose differently." "He really did write me a letter," Misun said. "At the end, before she paused. "He said he was proud that I'd always been stronger than him, that I'd always known when to let go, and he never learned. He wanted me to teach Suha that strength." "Then do that," Ji-hoon said. "Teach her that strength isn't about revenge. It's about choosing peace when everything in you wants war." Misun nodded, tears in her eyes. "Thank you for not destroying me when you could have." "We're all just trying to be better than our worst moments," Chidinma said. They parted peacefully, two families bound by tragedy, but choosing connection over continued hatred. It wasn't a fairy tale ending. Misun would struggle with grief for years, and the damage Seung Ho had done would echo through multiple lives forever. But it was an ending that chose healing over harm, and that mattered. That night, Ji-hoon and Chidinma stood on their balcony overlooking Seoul, the city light stretching endlessly before them. "It's really over," Chidinma said, almost afraid to believe it. "It's really over," Ji-hoon confirmed. "No more enemies, no more threats, no more battles. Just us. Just us and 3 children and my mother and therapy appointments and normal life chaos," Chidinma said with a laugh. "Perfect," Ji-hoon said, pulling her close. "Absolutely perfect." A month later, they got married. Not a huge ceremony, just family, close friends, and the people who'd stood by them through everything. Amaka served as flower girl with a seriousness that made everyone laugh. Chidi dropped the rings twice. Ngozi refused to walk down the aisle and had to be carried. It was chaotic and imperfect and absolutely them. During his vows, Ji-hoon's voice cracked when he said, "You saved me when I didn't know I needed saving. You fought for us when I was too scared to believe we deserved fighting for. You are my redemption, my peace, my home. And I promise to spend every day of our lives choosing you, choosing us, choosing love over fear." Chidinma cried through her vows, barely getting through. "You were broken, I was hiding, and somehow we built something beautiful from all those jagged pieces. You are worth every tear, every doubt, every moment of terror that we wouldn't make it. And we did make it. We're here, and I am so incredibly proud of us." Adane cried. Half the guests cried. Even Attorney Kim teared up, though he tried to hide it. The reception was loud and joyful and everything a celebration should be. At one point, Chidinma found herself alone for a moment, watching Ji Hune dance with their daughter, both of them laughing, and the gratitude that flooded through her was overwhelming. "You did good, my child," her mother said, appearing beside her. "You fought for your family, and you won." "We won," Chidinma corrected. "All of us together." "Yes," Adani agreed. "Together." As the night wound down and guests started leaving, Ji-hoon pulled Chidinma close on the dance floor, swaying to music that had long since ended. "I love you," he whispered, "more than I have words for." "I love you too," Chidinma whispered back. "Forever, forever," he agreed. And in that moment, with their children asleep in their grandmother's arms, with their friends and family around them, with Seoul glittering outside and the future stretching bright before them, they were finally, completely, perfectly home. So there you have it, beautiful family. Chidinma and Jihoon survived separation, manipulation, doubt, false accusations, and grief itself. They chose love when everything told them to choose safety. They chose trust when fear screamed at them to run. They chose redemption over revenge, compassion over cruelty, healing over hatred. And in the end, they didn't just survive. They built something extraordinary. Did they live happily ever after? Well, life isn't that simple. There were still hard days ahead, moments when old wounds ached, times when trauma resurfaced, nights when doubt whispered in the dark. But they faced those days together, and that made all the difference. Before you go, I need to know, what did you think of this ending? Did Chidinma and Jihoon's story touch your heart the way it touched mine? Drop a comment with just one word describing how you feel right now. And if you've been with us from part 1, comment Han River so I know you were here for the whole journey. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like and share buttons. It takes 2 seconds, but means the world. Subscribe if you haven't, because we have more stories coming that will make you laugh, cry, and believe in love again. Share this with someone who needs to hear that broken things can be beautiful, that second chances are real, that love is worth fighting for. This is the end of Chidinma and Jihoon's main story. But who knows? Maybe someday we'll check back in on them, see how their family grew, hear about new adventures. For now, thank you for watching. Thank you for loving these characters as much as I do. And thank you for believing that even the most broken love stories can have beautiful endings. Until next time, stay blessed, stay hopeful, and remember, the best revenge is living so well that your enemies don't matter anymore. I love you all. See you in the next story.